guys, this series is all about the attributes of God. And I want to ask you this question. When you hear the word God, what do you think about first? For those of us at the ranch, it's easy to think of things like love and joy and peace because that's how God is shown to us here. Life outside of Teen Ranch is not always so straightforward. The word God may have some very different meanings and not all of them good. What we get told at home may be completely different to what we get told at school, and what we get told at school may just seem like a whole bunch of rules that has nothing to do with the rest of our lives. Last roundups, I interviewed a few of you and here's what you had to say about the idea of God.
My name's Nicole.
My name's Mitchell.
My name's Tara. I'm Rachel.
Dylan Murphy, 14.
When you hear the word God, what comes to your mind first?
Love.
Jesus.
Peace. Amazing.
What do you think God looks like?
I don't know. I don't really picture him as a person because, I don't know, that's just not the way I think about him.
I only
Robe
think about
and
The Simpsons. Yeah.
When I think of God, I think of the white robes,
Sort of wearing a crown.
long hair,
Bulk.
long white hair.
And like strong. Like bulky like this.
I think of in the sky, like heaven.
That kind of thing maybe.
Okay. The creator.
If God were a person, who would he be friends with?
Me. Everyone.
I think he'd be friends with everybody.
Just us two. I think everyone. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Everyone.
And everybody would like him.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know about that actually.
People who think themselves as awesome and stuff like that probably wouldn't like him all that much. He'll probably hang out with the people who you'd probably find in the streets taking drugs or like in prison and stuff like that.
I think he'd be feared by a lot of people.
Why would people fear him?
Just afraid if they weren't like knowledgeable of him.
Sometimes our circumstances and the people around us can have a huge impact on how we view God. If our lives are pretty good, then we may not even see a need for God. On the other hand, if our circumstances are really challenging and we look around and see things like poverty and war and broken families, we could understandably think that God does nothing, and we might want to be interested in someone who actually does something about the issue. To understand God, who is bigger than our circumstances, although he cares for them, we need to look at the attributes of God to gain a bigger picture of who he is. I had it explained like this to me once. Imagine you're at an airport. You're on the ground right next to the airstrip. What do you think you'd see? I could assume that you would see all sorts of aircraft taking off and landing, and if you got a little bit too close to the airstrip, you'd probably get a little bit of a shock. But there is no way that you could know the details about each plane. You couldn't know where they came from, where they're going, how many people are on board. You just couldn't know that. Your perspective would be limited. But God is like the air traffic controller. He's right up in the tower, overseeing the whole airport, and he is aware of every single detail of planes coming in and out, and he's even calling the shots. He's deciding where they land, when they land, and how everything operates. He can do this because he has the right perspective. In the Bible, God says a load of things about the world we live in which can help us get a perspective on where we're at and our circumstances and how he views them. He says that he's the creator of everything. He's a father to the fatherless, he's help for the orphan, and strength for the weak. He says that he is the way we need, the truth about life, and the life that we lack. He also tells us about how this life is not how he intended it because we're all trying to make the rules for ourselves, decide what's best. Could you imagine if every pilot decided when and where he would land? Or worse yet, if the person on the ground was actually calling the shots without even a radio, it'd be chaos. God has created this world and he wants us to know him. He has given us a good way to live and an example in Jesus. Over the course of the next week, we're going to be looking at some of God's attributes. There will be loads more that we're going to talk about in the future, but we hope that this gives you a good starting point to begin to develop a bigger picture of who God is.